Hi everybody, thanks for joining me tonight at the Underground. Tonight I wanted to talk about some things we need to watch for to let us know how fast our economy is going to spin out of control in the future. So, as you can see in the chart, manufacturing has been on a steady decline since January this year. Now, it did move up to 48.3 in October from 47.8 in September, which was a 10-year low and the steepest contraction in manufacturing since June 2009. Now remember, nothing goes straight up or down, so we're going to see fluctuation. But we're still in contraction at 48.3 this month. And we need to make it to 50 to be considered out of contraction. Now, this would signal our third month of contraction, so we definitely need to keep our eye on the PMI heading into the future. Now, on top of that, we have the 18 manufacturing industries, and out of those 18, only 5 have reported growth in October, and the other 12 reported contractions. So, on top of that, we have bankruptcies still increasing. They rose from 22,483 in the second quarter this year to 22,910 in the third quarter. And we have retailers announcing more closures with the retail apocalypse. We are set to break records this year, with Coresight Research predicting by the end of the year we could reach anywhere from 9,000 to 12,000 stores. Now, one of the other things that have really brought the condition of the economy out in the mainstream limelight was when the Fed started injecting hundreds of billions of dollars in September into the markets. Many analysts think that this will be really ineffective in normalizing the key rate, which was the cause of the injections in the first place. The rate jumped from 2% to 10% overnight in the middle of September, and it symbolized a lot of volatility in the lending market. And basically, banks weren't wanting to lend to other banks. They were worried that they were too insolvent and couldn't pay back their debts. And with this problem, the Federal Reserve only gives money to its primary dealers and its big banks, while the smaller banks are left with little or no help at all. So it helps the bigger banks to get a tighter grip on things and become even bigger yet, why it creates a weakness in our economy with the smaller banks being so exposed. Now, something else I just wanted to mention was the trade deal. They were supposed to have this phase one agricultural part of the trade deal pretty much signed. And it was announced today that the mid-November summit is actually being pushed back or possibly canceled. And with 40% of our farmers either on some kind of subsidies or government aid right now with the bailouts, this could really hurt our economy and the future of America if we do not get at least this part of the deal figured out very shortly, especially for the farmers out there. So, I think one of the most important things is personal debt. The average American has around $38,000 in personal debt, and that's not counting any mortgages or anything like that. And with more and more of us Americans hitting our limits and becoming tapped out and having little to no savings, that's not a good sign heading into the future for our economy because it needs us to consume. We are a consumer-based economy. And if most of our money is just going to our bills and credit card interest and loan interest, we're not able to go out there and get those consumables that this country and economy depends on. So the last thing I wanted to mention is the Federal Reserve cutting interest rates. They cut interest rates 3 times this year. And last time we cut interest rates was during the recession of '08. Now, the Federal Reserve should only be cutting interest rates if there's something out there that they're aware of that's not really good for this economy, but yet they're telling us everything's fine. But at the same time, Fed President Jay Powell's exact words were, I will act as appropriate to sustain this expansion. So he's admitting that they're going to keep kicking this can down the road as long as they possibly can. And that's not a good thing, because if we had a recession tomorrow, it would already be very extreme. I can't imagine how bad things will be if they actually keep this thing going for another 2, 3 years. So, with all this being said, just, keep being vigilant in your preparing and, preps and helping wake people up. So thanks for listening. Please subscribe, hit that bell, and please, please keep prepping, everybody. Have a good night.